Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple of fun projects to share with you featuring the new Sunshine and Rainbows dies by Concord 9th. Just came out in their May release, and you know I love a good rainbow. Always have, always will. And this one has two different sizes of rainbows. The back of the packaging gives you some idea of what these dies look like, but as you can see, this is the larger rainbow, and then down here you have the little mini. I'm going to use both. And there's a couple of word dies as well, some clouds, some suns. The hardest thing about this, and I tell you what, it was hard for me, is there's only 4 arches in the rainbow. So I had to come up with 4 colors. You ever try to come up with a rainbow only using 4 colors? It was actually painful. Look how that word die fits perfectly on the arch. I didn't use it, but I just wanted to show you. And then there's the sun. Okay, so the other thing I love is these little clouds. They're like corners, and they fit perfectly on the corner of a card. And there's also an arch, like a rainbow backer. So you can adhere all your arches onto the backer, and then you can pop it up. Okay, so I die cut all that, the clouds and the rainbow backer, out of white cardstock. And then now we're going to get to the arches. I chose these 4 colors. Sweet pea, dragonfruit, sorbet, and grapefruit. Now, I know this is not a rainbow because it's just 4 warm tones. It's like 2 shades of pink and 2 shades of coral, but it's the best I could do because my gut has to agree. And listen, I tried to do a red, orange, yellow, green, or a red, orange, yellow, blue. It wasn't happening for me today. It was not happening. So I did 2 shades of pink and 2 shades of this kind of orange, sorbet and grapefruit, and it worked. Like, my stomach liked it. And that is my scientific approach to working with color. It just has to feel right to the stomach. And so that's what I did. And now I'm cutting these strips for the rainbow arches. And I'll show you, I'm going to save all these extra because it did cut quite a few extra, and I only needed 1 size per color. So I'm going to put those into my stamp or my die packaging and save them for another day. Here we have the smallest one, which is grapefruit. And then also that little bit in the middle there, that little leftover bit, I put that in my scrap cardstock drawer. Because, like, Concord Night cardstock is gold to me. So here you have your 4 arches. I loved how this looked. For today it worked. For the sun, I'm going to do a combination of Buttercup and sunflower, I believe. Sometimes I get sunflower and honeycomb mixed up, but I believe it's sunflower. Okay, so there you have the sun and then the big old sun center. Now for the white rainbow backer, I'm using Barely Art glue, and I'm just doing a bead of it for the largest arch, and I'm going to work my way in. So starting with sweet pea on the outer edge. You could work your way out to in or in to out. Potato, potato. You could also pop these up with foam tape. You could have a lot of fun with it. You could use tape runner, but I just use liquid glue because I have it handy and I love it. Love that precision tip. Gives you this the teeniest bead of glue, so it doesn't ooze out the sides and chap your khakis. So there you have. Now the thing is, you got to make sure you butt up those arches together. You don't want any white gaps peeking through the sides. You got to pinch those arches tight. And there you have your rainbow. This comes together easy peasy. For a sentiment, I decided to use a Christina Werner die set. This is the Big Type Greetings die set. I don't think it's a new one, but it's one I have. I love hugs. I love hugs for when I don't know what I'm going to use this card for. I love hugs because it can be for anyone. Like, it's just a universal sentiment. I gravitate towards hugs. I did the backer out of vellum, the word die out of matte gold, and then I have a panel of powder cardstock cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches for the background. Doing a little bit of foam tape, popping up the sun center. I use that Big Mama foam tape by Simon Says Stamp. It's thin, also a little bit right there in the back middle. That's going to hold this sun up in the top right corner. I'm kind of tucking it behind the rainbow. And then I'm adding a little foam tape to the rainbow, popping that up. And I love how this looks. These warm tones with that powder background is tickling my fancy. Then popping up the cloud corners. And then last, little slivers of foam tape behind the matte gold hugs. Because dimension is life. And I have been kind of in my flat card era lately, but today was a good one. Today was a good one for dimension. And I'm popping up this hugs right in the center. I thought about adding a little sub sentiment right under the hugs, like thinking of you or sending you rainbows, sunshine and rainbows, but I didn't feel like, you know, when you have an idea, but you don't know where it is in all your craft stash, and the energy it would take to find what you're looking for. And I have done it. I have done it. It'll take you on a 2-hour session. Next thing you know, you're cleaning out your craft closet and you wonder how you got into this mess. So I just stopped at hugs. Now I want to do another card because I wanted to use that little mini rainbow. So you're getting a jumbo rainbow and a mini rainbow card today. I'm using the same colors, same exact colors that I did on the first card, cutting out that rainbow backer with white cardstock, the sun out of Buttercup, and then the rainbow arches out of the sweet pea, Dragonfruit, Sorbet, and Grapefruit. And so this is just a lot of die cutting up front, but I just sit down and put on some music. Actually, I didn't put on any music today. Do you guys use Spotify? I get tired of my own playlist, and I like it when my kids are in the car because they always want to play their songs, and it gives me new inspiration because I love all kinds of music, and especially my son Charlie. He is a music lover, and he always has fun, and he plays oldies, goodies, 70s, 80s, rock, country, all of it. He loves it all, and he gives me good. Today he put on an old Tom Petty song. He's like, Mom, have you ever heard of Tom Petty? And I'm like, yes, I've heard of Tom Petty. And he's like, oh, he's good. He's good. Here I'm putting all these extra rainbow arches in my die packaging. I'll save those. Maybe I'll use them on a future card. Who knows? But they're too good. They're too good to throw away. Okay, so I'm just going to start adhering this all together. It's the same process, just in a little mini version. So Charlie has taken a liking this week to Tom Petty. he goes in phases, and he doesn't listen to one song. He listens to the entire album. He's like that. He thinks I'm weird for just picking. I just like one song by Tom Petty. Free Fallin'. That's probably my favorite Tom Petty song. 'Cause I'm free. I like the popular ones. But he's like, Mom, you should really listen to the whole album. Now, for this little mini card, I'm doing something a little different. I'm making a 4-bar size card. So 3.5 by 5. And this sentiment from the Desertscape stamp set, it has the perfect arch to fit around the rainbow. So I'm stamping this sentiment with powder ink onto a powder panel. And it says, thinking of you. And I love this powder ink on powder. It gives you the tone on tone, but you still have the blue sky. And it's a perfect arch. I don't know if Concord 9th meant that to go together, because I don't think I've seen anyone use it together, but hey, it was a happy little accident. So I'm adhering the powder panel onto a 4-bar note card. So the note card is 3.5 by 5 inches long. I trimmed the powder panel down a little bit to have a nice white border. And then I had to trim a smidge off my sun so that it could peek out from the rainbow, just like so. Everything's getting popped up with the big MOMMA foam tape by Simon Says Stamp. And these cards are very, very simple, very clean. But they got the happy pops of color with the rainbow and the sun, and I love it. I love how they looked. I contemplated adding a few sparkling clear sequins or enamel dots here and there, but I decided to leave it clean. Look how that thinking of you fits perfect around it. Love this. So there you have 2 rainbow cards using the Sunshine and Rainbows dies by Concord 9th. Check out their new May release. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.